Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be working on the last few stories in my Deconstructing December album. So first off, if you haven't caught the other videos or haven't seen my Deconstructing series before, basically what my idea is I've gone back and I'm re-documenting some older memories that I have documented previously, like years before. And honestly, I'm not that happy with the albums that I made years ago. So I'm basically taking those older memories and just redoing them. So I also have several videos in a Deconstructing Disney series over here on my channel where I did the same thing, went through old Disney albums and re-documented all of my photos. So basically, I'm definitely picking and choosing for this album. This is a Heidi Swapp Storyline Chapters, just like the regular size album. I think it's roughly like a 7x9, so a little bigger than your regular 6x8 like binder style album. I really love the size and I love working in this album. So I did tear out some of the pages before I started. That way I can add dimension and all the chunkiness that I want, and the album won't get like too big to close or anything like that. So I found an old phone from years ago and it has a lot of pictures on it from like 2015, 16, 17. So basically those happened to be the 3 years that I tried a December daily. And I finished them, but I don't love them. So basically I'm going back, picking and choosing my favorite memories, and I'm documenting them here in this Heidi Swapp Storyline Chapters album. And I'm super pleased with how everything's turned out, and I love, love, love this album. So with all of that said, I do have a few other videos that I have already worked on throughout this season, so I will link them below, and I will definitely be doing a flip through probably next week as well. So for this first story, pretty much I wanted to document this adorable photo of Will and Greta from a few years ago. I think this one was from 2016. So I did already have this piece of paper from the Pink Fresh collection adhered down, but besides that, it was a blank slate. So I've really been enjoying printing off the photos, like the really large photos, and kind of pairing them with smaller ones and doing a mixture in here. So basically, I decided to print off this picture of our Christmas tree. Now, this is the same Christmas tree that we currently have. It's a big silver tree. But this picture is an older photo from several years ago. It already had like a little kind of bokeh bokeh filter on it. I mean, it's barely there. It's not like in the whole tree, but it is kind of around it. So I did just keep that on there. I thought it was cute, and I printed that photo off large, so it's about a 7.2x9 is typically what I print them off at, and then I just trimmed it out and rounded the corners. Then on the other side, that paper was just perfect to add a smaller photo, so I printed this picture of Will and Greta off at a 3x3 and then just kind of popped it up on some pop dots. During this video, we're doing the last three stories in this album, so I knew that I would be able to pop that photo up without any problems. So I went ahead and did that. And then I'm just adding in a few of the die cuts. The majority of what we're using for this spread is from the Pink Fresh Holiday Magic collection, which you guys know I've been using throughout the season, and I just love this collection. So now we're nearing the end, so I'm trying to use up what I can. So I'm adding a few things here and there. I use some puffy stickers and some of the die cuts, and then also a lot of these alpha stickers. Now, I will go ahead and say that after I was done and I turned the camera off, I thought there was like too many alpha stickers there of like the same font, and I really wasn't liking it. So I actually will remove Christmas, and then I'm going to stamp out Christmas using the Apollo stamp set from Feed Your Craft that I've been using a lot this season. So I'll show you that at the very, very end, but I actually do it off camera. So then I add in some journaling. My journaling is basically like me now, telling the stories. I'm not acting like I did this album back in 2015 or whatever. So my journaling is basically talking about how many great holiday memories we had of Greta, and just how she was such a just star on camera. Like any kind of thing that I ever wanted to do, pictures or video. She would perform. She would look at the camera. She would let us like dress her up. I'm not going to say it was like her favorite thing to be dressed up, but she would be very patient, let me do my thing, take my photos, and then, she knew that I would take it right off of her. She was such a good sport. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. So of course, I added in a few of the glittery gold stars, and then I do have some enamel dots left also from the Holiday Magic collection. So we're just sprinkling those on. And whenever I was kind of grabbing out the die cuts and little pieces of ephemera, some kind of fell into that bottom right corner. And I just kind of liked the way that looked. So that gave me the idea to kind of create a cluster down there. And I thought that was cute. Date stamped it. And then we are going to add kind of a lot of gold stars on this opposite page with the Christmas tree. So I really like the way that this one turned out, and just in general, I've had so much fun with this entire album. So I'm definitely a believer in re-scrapping your memories, For me, like I've said many times, I'm the only one that looks at these albums. So I just don't have a big reasoning to keep them on my shelf and have them there if I just don't enjoy them. And to be honest, these albums, I have not even peeked at them in years. And whenever I did, I was sad. So I'm really happy to have these memories redocumented. And I may do some more next year. You never know, whenever it gets to be the holiday season again. I'm going to put this stuff away for now, but I might do another one. I don't know. I do have a few other things that I kind of wanted to document, but couldn't fit in this album. So, there is a possibility that I could do another one. You never know. So I really like this idea. So for my second story, we are going to be documenting basically Star Wars at the holiday time. So I did already have a Star Wars page in here that I did off camera. But if you guys are Star Wars fans, and of course you know that even still now, really, but over the years, especially in like maybe 2015, 16, 17, those types of years, there was like always a new Star Wars movie out in the theaters like around Christmas every year. And then of course we got The Mandalorian as well. And so it's just been like a thing that has been so connected with Christmas time for us. So these are from 2 different years, but I kind of just put them together. So the large photo is from 2016, before me and Will went to the movies. And of course, Will is just like Greta. He's a great sport and always will like wear the Christmas sweaters that I ask him to wear and everything. So we had pretty matching Darth Vader Christmas sweaters that year. So I got a photo before we left. So I love that picture. And then on the opposite side, these 3 photos are from whenever we saw The Last Jedi in 2017. And that night was special because that is the night we ended up getting engaged later. So, and also his brother was in town. So those 2 pictures are of me and Will, of course, at the top. And then the one at the bottom is of Will and Daniel. So that was just a great night all around. So, wanted to definitely add these photos in here, even though they're not the best quality. I just turned them black and white and it works out. So for this side, I knew that I wanted to do kind of like a pocket page style. That was my original thought. So I was going to print all the photos off at a 3x4 and just kind of pop them in almost like a 6x8 kind of pocket page, but doing it outside of the pockets. But then when I decided that I wanted the photos to be a little bit smaller, so I actually printed all 3 of my photos off at I think it was like 2.2 by 3. So basically a 2 by 3. And so just a little smaller than the 3x4, and kind of did everything in the middle of the layout, which I really liked. So I have kind of obviously the square with all of the photos, and I cut out one piece from the Pink Fresh Holiday Magic collection, and then I've added on some enamel dots and some little embellishments. At this point though, off camera, I did add some super, super adorable die cuts that my friend Corrine sent me in the mail, and I love them. But after I adhered them, and I was happy with them, but after I adhered them down, I remembered that I just recently purchased this adorable stamp set from Social Paper Plan, and I missed it the first time that they released it. So when they re-released it for like a limited time, I snagged it so fast. So super happy to have this stamp set. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use this for this layout. So basically I'm stamping out the majority of the little icons, and they're so cute. I mean, they have, you know, so many great little stamps on this set, and you get a lot of them. You even get lightsabers are on there, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So I printed all of the, or excuse me, I stamped all of these out, and then I am going to cut them out off camera, and then we will kind of continue with our layout. So I will link to Social Paper Plan below as well if you want to pick those up. And of course, you've probably seen in my other videos, or if you haven't, definitely in my Deconstructing Disney series, I used a lot of Social Paper Plan stickers, and I do have a lot of their stamp sets. They do tons of Disney themed things, so super fun if you are a Disney fan. So I wanted to use like all of these that I stamped out. So basically what I ended up doing was I just am going to adhere them right down here to the side of the page. And I think it looks cute. I know that it's kind of heavy on that one side, like because all of these stamps are on the right side. But if I'm looking at it like a spread, it doesn't really bother me because you have the super large photo with all of the black from our Christmas sweaters on the left side, and then you have the stamps on the right side. So for me, it works out, and I'm really glad that I was able to use all of these adorable stamps. I think that they are so cute. So in this album, I typically will stamp on just a piece of computer paper and then cut them out and add them in. And that's mostly just so I can get a nice crisp stamp without messing it up on these actual pages, especially when your album is getting really chunky and you have a lot going on. It's hard to get that like perfect impression of a stamp. So for me, I prefer to do it off, off on a different sheet of paper and then just cut it out and add it into the album. So that is what I am typically doing, just as like a tip. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people do that, but it is very easy to get a better stamp. So, and you might have seen me using my sand eraser. I did kind of run that over like all of these stamps, and then I also got some adhesive off of my photo a second ago with it. It's really great for both of those things. But when you have a brand new stamp, sometimes it's nice to just run over your stamp set with the sand eraser, and it kind of seasons the stamp so that you can get like a darker, richer impression. So I just got some off of Amazon. So I am adding a couple other little things at the top. I thought that it would look nice if we tied in just a little bit to the left side. And I think I will sprinkle on several other stars throughout this. I'm not sure if I do that on camera or not. But yeah, I really love the way that this little layout looks. It's a little busy and has a lot of little parts, but all in all, I think it's cute. And even though I added a ton of stamps, since they're just stamped out in black on white paper, I feel like it's not too like in your face and jarring, so I think that it ends up looking pretty good. I do also really love the Holiday Traditions puffy sticker that I put above the Last Jedi movie poster. I just think that that's cute, and this is like a huge holiday tradition for us to go to those Star Wars movies. Now, I've got to say, The Last Jedi was not our favorite of the Star Wars movies, but it is a special night because, like I said, we ended up getting engaged later. So how cool is that? But the movie, it's just kind of unfortunate, was not for us. But all in all, though, still love Star Wars regardless. So then I do add the date stamp at the bottom, 2017, and we are just going to add those little finishing touches. I thought that I would add in just a few other little puffy stickers that's actually from the Citrus Twist Merry and Bright kit. So I had a few puffy stickers left from there, and I think pretty much we are done with this layout. And then we just have, I do add a little label with a couple stars over to this side as well, just to add in the date because these are two different years. So that's 2016 and the other side is 2017. So anyway, we'll finish this up and then we'll move on to the next one. But I'm actually recording this voiceover on Christmas Eve. I actually did all of these layouts on Christmas Eve as well. So we've had a really low-key day so far. No plans really. Tonight we're going to go look at Christmas lights and definitely put on some Christmas movies here as the day goes on. We've got to watch 8 Crazy Nights and we've got to watch Home Alone or Home Alone 2 to make it feel like Christmas. So those are definitely on the agenda. But yeah, it's just been a nice, easy day. I just kind of felt like scrapbooking earlier and wanted to get this video out for you guys. So if anyone is also having a low-key Christmas Eve, you may be able to watch videos, or if not, it will be waiting for you whenever you find it. Yeah, so here is the last story and the last page in the album. So right now, I'm going to adhere down a full sheet of paper. But what I'm going to do first is actually whenever I tore out all of the sheets of paper at the beginning, just to make the album a little, less chunky and easier to work in, I kept those pieces of paper that I tore out, and sometimes those come in handy for little boo-boos and things like that. So I kept all of them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to adhere a piece of that paper kind of into the corner, just so that whenever I adhere this piece of pattern paper, if a little bit is poking out, it will look the same as all the other sheets. Since it was like that back panel, it was like a different color. And then I'm just going to cover this back piece with this piece of paper. I went with just a really easy light blue polka dot from the Filling Frosty collection from Simple Stories. So I really loved this collection. I am glad, very glad that I went with Pink Fresh Holiday Magic for like all of my documenting, because the Filling Frosty is very specific on the colors, and I feel like it would be kind of harder to make everything match. But I am really glad that I got that paper pad and I was able to play around with it a little bit in this album in particular, because in here I don't mind if everything is cohesive. It's just whatever paper and stuff that I wanted to use in each layout. So I really wanted to use Filling Frosty a little bit more since we're nearing the end of, December documenting and everything. So I pulled out a few sheets and I think it's really cute. So I keep this one super, super simple. And unfortunately, I do miss a little bit of the process because I forgot to turn my camera back on, I guess, or something happened. So we actually miss a lot of my embellishments right here. So I apologize for that. But basically, I adhered down my photo. So I keep that side really simple. I thought it would look nice with like the full size paper on the right side. So on the left side, I just did the one little strip with the snowflakes, and then I included the photo. So this was actually our holiday card photo from 2017, and it's one of my favorites that we've ever done. So I thought it would be cute if we wore like winter wear, like our Christmas sweaters, and put on our like beanies and stuff. And then I got these 2 doggy beanies for Greta and Penny, and their little ears pop out of them, and they're just so cute. And I'm sure you guys know, if you're trying to get like a family photo with your animals, it's really hard because you need to look okay, your babies need to look okay, you want them to be looking at the camera, and it can be so complicated. And whenever we got this picture, it was like magic. It was like really like holiday magic. I was so excited. Everyone looks great. Everyone's looking at the camera. It was awesome. So one of my definite favorites, and I was glad to end the album with this photo. So like I said, some of it cut out, but basically I decided to do like a little cluster on the right side with some tiny words. I tried to go with like that collection is specifically extremely like snow based, the Filling Frosty is. So I did just go ahead and roll with it. I have the word snow on there. I have winter days. I have no clue how cold it was. It probably wasn't that cold here, but we do have on our beanies and our, sweatshirts and everything. So I felt like it worked out pretty good. Then I'm just adding a tab here at the end, and I will add some of that pom-pom trim at the very end, I kind of pop back on and show you because I wasn't sure if I was going to add it, but I went ahead and went for it. So I will give you a little close up here, and then I'll pop on at the very end and show you the 2 things that I changed or added. But that is it for today, guys. So I really hope that you are having an absolutely wonderful holiday season, and subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.